Welcome to Calisthenics Kidz lesson number 9. Now, on lessons 1 through to 8, we've been working on various different skills. Yesterday was particularly tough. Today is going to be a bit more relaxed. We're going to switch on our brains a little bit more, but we're still going to have fun, develop new skills, and hopefully develop some cool tricks to show off to your friends with. All you're going to need for today's lesson is something like a stick. So for example, it can be a broom, anything you can get your hands on. You'll see why later on. And you're also going to need at least a piece of paper for a movement challenge that we're going to do right at the end of the session. So today's focus is going to be on balance, and we're going to combine movements we've used in previous sessions. So if this is your first time checking out Calisthenics Kidz, make sure you're part of Calisthenics Kidz Facebook group, just so you don't miss out on any of the lessons. And if you want to go back and revisit other lessons, let your parents let me know your parents' email so that I know where to send those to. So first thing you're going to do is make sure you've got enough space to work in, and then standing up, all you're going to do is close your eyes and just stand on one leg. So super simple to begin with. Then what I want you to do, if you're managing that fairly easily, is you're going to step back whilst keeping your eyes closed. So start off dead simple. So eyes closed, step back, and then from that position, pop your hands on the floor. You can open your eyes now. Now you might recognize this as the Spider-Man move we covered in lesson 6, I believe it was. And then from this position, all I want you to do is come back to the top. So watch carefully. So eyes closed, leg up, step back, hands down, and then from this position, I just want you to stand back up. Now to make that slightly harder, if you're feeling confident, you can take more of your body weight forwards. So I'm going to show you the 3 different levels using this movement. I'm just going to clear myself a little bit of space. So eyes closed, step back. Then from this position, all you're going to do is, if you're feeling confident, shove more of your body weight forwards and then come up from there. So eyes closed, leg back, more of your body weight forwards. If you want to make this even more challenging, you can pick up that back foot and then stand up. If you're following along at home, make sure you drop a comment so I know who you are, and so I can answer any questions that you've got. To make it even harder, this time you're going to pick up the back foot and you're going to try and take your knee off the floor as much as your body lets you. So this is what that's going to look like. I'll show you from the other side just to make sure we're staying balanced. So eyes closed, step back, more of your body weight forward, toe off the floor, and if you're really strong, take that knee off the floor and then stand up. We're going to do one more. This time I'm going to face the front. So eyes closed, standing up, find our balance. If mum and dad are near us, we can hold on to them for balance. Step back, body weight forward, back foot up, back knee up, and then stand up. Now, if you've managed that all right, you're probably doing pretty well so far. Now we're going to revisit lessons we've done previously, and we're going to look at a movement called the bear. So chin on your chest, looking at your toes, keeping that bum up in the air. So bum up in the air, chin on your chest, and all I want you to do is just walk forward. So chin on your chest, walking forward, nice and slow, keeping arms nice and straight. Now if that's too easy for you, chin on your chest, we're going to go backwards. So chin on your chest, look at your toes, bum up in the air, opposite arm, opposite leg. Again, if you're finding this easy, go super slow. Slow, 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 slow. Try and keep your arms and legs in the air for the longest possible time before they go back down. So looking at your toes as long as you can. So long and strong. Now this time, when I shout freeze, you're going to stay as still as you can until I shout go. So we're moving super, super slow. If I shout freeze, you stop where you are. So just to give you a quick demonstration, if I'm moving along, bum up in the air, opposite arm, opposite leg. So I'm moving along, and then all of a sudden I shout freeze. You've got to hold that position until I say go. So if you're watching the video, you might see me counting on my fingers, and then I'm going to say go. So give yourself enough room to move, chin on your chest, opposite arm, opposite leg, moving nice and slowly, and freeze. So wherever you are, hold it there, hold still, hold still, hold still, and go. Slowly, and freeze. Hold it there, hold it there, hold it there, and relax. Now, if you keep your legs straight and bend your arms, you can try that once more. You can find it even more challenging. So same game, bend your elbows just a teeny tiny bit. So my bum stays straight. This is a coordination challenge because legs are straight, bums up in the air, bending your elbows. And this time, again, if I shout freeze, you just stop where you are. So bum up in the air, chin on your chest, bend your elbows, and freeze. Hold for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and relax. Now what we're going to do is a movement called, well, in fact, I'm going to let you name this movement, but this is where you're going to need something straight. So all I want you to do is make sure you're not going to knock anyone out first and foremost. But the second thing you're going to do is pop the stick on your back, and then from there, all you're going to do is try and keep 3 points of contact. So midpoint, lower point, upper point, and all I want you to do is see if, oh, there's me talking about making sure we don't hit anything, and the light's falling. So we're just going to see if we can take one leg back and keep all 3 points of contact. So if I'll show you from the side, can we keep all 3 points of contact? Hold it there. See if we can hold for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Stand up. Swap legs. So 3 points of contact. Ooh. Can we hold for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And shake your legs off. Have a rest. Now pop your stick down to the side. Now what we're going to do is we're going to go thumbs pointing up, eyes looking forwards. So as we bring our head, we're going to keep hands out to the side. Do this on 2 legs if it's too difficult. Thumbs pointing up, looking through your eyebrows. And can we hold this position for 5, 4, 3, if you're really good, close your eyes, 2, and 1, and back to the start. So thumbs up, looking forward, hold for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and have a rest. So now what we're going to see is whether we can do a movement called the aeroplane. So all we're going to do is that same movement, so head and heel move as one, and then we're going to see whether we can rotate. So I don't mind which way you rotate, but thumbs up, eyes up. I'm going to take my heel back, and then from this position, can I rotate? Now I'm going to rotate towards my left. Can we still stay in one place? Don't worry if you're wobbling. This is very difficult if you've not tried it, or if this is the first time you've tried it. And back down to the middle, and then come up tall. Shake it out, swap legs. Now if this is easy for you, I want you to close your eyes, and we'll work on your ability to know where your body is in time and space. If it's difficult, don't worry if you need to grab hold of a partner. Don't worry if you've got something to lean on, that's absolutely fine. So chest up, eyes up, reaching that heel back. And then from this position, I'm going to try and turn towards my right. Can I stay balanced? If I need to touch down, that's absolutely fine. And back to the middle. And if you want to challenge yourself, see if you can come across your body. So my left hand is near my right foot. Can I stay balanced? If you can, hold for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And have a rest. Excellent job so far. Now we're going to try a movement called the monkey, which we worked on in yesterday's lesson, but we are going to stand up with more weight on one leg than the other. Now this might be slightly easier than the single leg balance stuff we've done, but I still want you to shift as much weight onto one side, make one leg really, really heavy, make one leg really, really light. So just a reminder, if we've not seen the lesson on the monkey, so it's going to start off looking like this. We're going to come one hand over the top, so almost like we're one hand over the top, one underneath, and we're going to go 1, 2, and then my feet go down 3, 4. So just to show you that again. So I'm coming in front, 1, 2, 3, 4. Now if that's easy for you, push harder through the floor. Make sure you've got space. See if you can lift up a little bit more. So 1, 2, 3, 4. The stronger you are, the easier this movement is, the more you'll be able to float. If it's loud and bangy and you're waking your parents up, you definitely need to just take it down a notch or two. So use all the space you have and then stand up with more weight on one side. So 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm going to shift my weight more to the left, and if you can, make this leg as light as possible and then stand up. So let's try that again. So I'm going to go 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm going to put more weight on my right leg. If I can take this left leg off the floor, great. And then stand up. So I'm going to try 2 on each side. So 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm going to put more weight onto my left side. If I'm able to take this off the floor, great. And then stand up. Then coming back this way, 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm going to put more weight on my right side. And then from there, I'm going to try and stay in shot and stand up. Excellent job so far. So you might have found that a bit easier than the previous balance task where we were on one leg. You might have found it a bit harder because it requires a little bit more strength. We're nearly getting towards the movement task at the end, where you will need a piece of paper if you haven't got one already. So last thing we're going to do is we're going to try and combine this movement that we did at the start with a backward roll, or a halfway between a backward and a forward roll that we covered in lesson 8. So this is going to be quite hard to coordinate. If you need help, then have somebody stood in front of you, ready to grab your hands if they need to. So what this movement task is going to involve is you're going to make a nice tight wall, and then from there you're going to reach forward with one leg. Now I know we covered this yesterday, but you'll see the progression or the harder variation we're going to try in a second. So knees tight together to your chest. We're going to roll 1, 2, and on the third one, just reach your foot forward as if you're trying to kick something in front of you. It's okay if both feet end up back beneath you, but we'll roll 1, 2, and then on the third one, try and kick something in front of you. So I should end up in a similar position to what we've called a duck walk before. So that's a duck walk. When I'm rolling, I want to end up in that kind of position. So I'm going to roll and kick one foot forward. I'm going to give myself quite a bit of space for this. So I'm going to roll, imagine I'm kicking, come through. I'm going to roll, imagine I'm kicking, and come through. Okay, I'm going to have a rest whilst you guys have a go at that. Any questions, make sure you drop them in. Make sure when we do the movement challenge, you are tagging at Calisthenics Kidz, just so I can see how much better you guys are getting than I am. Okay, so this movement progression from yesterday, all we're going to do, as we come forward, we're going to poke that leg in front and then see if we can get it behind us. So imagine you're kicking something in front and then almost pushing something back away with that same foot. So if I'm here, kick at the front, and then I can just slide it along the floor. If I'm really good, then I won't be able to touch the floor at all. So I kick out at the front, and then can I place it behind me? Let's try that again. switch sides, kick out of the front and behind me. So there's a lot more coordination going on here because when the leg's behind me, I can't actually see it. So I'm testing my balance, I'm testing my body awareness, and we should notice our heart rate is coming up along with that as well. Okay, final movement challenge. Now, I'm going to say a quick disclaimer. I've managed to do this once before. There are different ways of completing this challenge, but it involves a combination of balance, strength, and coordination. Now, the easy challenge, or the easier challenge, is to have the A4 piece of paper facing up like this, so it's taller. Now, hopefully this paper decides to say balance. Now, the aim of this movement challenge, which I'm not going to show you, I'm going to let you have a couple minutes trying this. If you're not watching this on live, pause the video, because as I said, there is more than one way of doing this, and once you see me do it, then you'll probably try and copy me, when as I said, there's loads of different ways that I've seen this done. So the challenge is this. You have to pick the piece of paper up with your mouth, but you are not allowed to put, once you decide which leg you're going to use, you're not allowed to put the other leg on the floor at any point. And for the first part of the challenge, I'm going to say you are allowed to put your hands on the floor. That's going to make it super easy. So from there, if I wanted to pick it up, I could. That's level 1. So I'm going to show you level 1 just because that's probably quite easy. I'm here, and I can pick it up. Level 2 is I can only put one hand down. Again, have to keep that foot off the floor. One hand down. You might think that this is still pretty easy. Now, the hardest challenge is to pick it up, but you're not allowed to put a hand down or a foot down. In fact, this is the second hardest challenge, because to make this harder, you can pop it sideways. So second hardest challenge, can I pick this up with my mouth? As soon as I put a hand down, no longer counts. So I'm not going to show you the full version, because there's several different ways this can be achieved. But if you tag me, Calisthenics Kidz, then I will show you my finalised attempt. So the hardest movement challenge is sheet of paper on the side like this. No cheating and making sure that it's too big. So on the side like this, starting off on one leg, and then can you pick the piece of paper up with your mouth without ending up falling over? So we're challenging our balance, strength, coordination. Tag Calisthenics Kidz. Thank you for tuning in to lesson 9 of Calisthenics Kidz. I will catch you again in the next video.